Hi, I'm John McGuire. I'm the search product manager for Global Search. I'm going to take you through some of the things that we're working on for GitLab 14.1 and cover some of the research that we're doing for beyond that. And I have with me Nick. Nick is the designer who works with me on Global Search. And so he will take us through some of the design pieces that we're working through during this milestone. These are pieces that won't be developed at the time, but they're getting prepared to go into the development cycle. So the first item that we have is something that really comes out of the understanding of how users are using the dropdowns that are provided in the group search and the project search. We find that a very high percentage of users are using the same groups, which makes a lot of sense, but they're also using just a handful of different projects. And so we thought it'd be a very helpful feature to add in the recently searched groups and projects in these dropdown lists and show those at the top. And the idea with this is that if you're trying to search through it, you don't have to have an extensive list of projects that you may not be interested in at that time. You'll get the ones that you most, or the ones that you've recently searched right at the top. The next thing we're going to be working through is around the timeout state in a search result page that currently 500s. So if you have a query that may be complex for some reason, and it takes a long time to get a response back, today this will time out to a 500 page. We think it would be more helpful to time this out with a message in the results section that then allows you to continue to make changes to what you had in the search without having to click the back button. Maybe there's pieces that we'll add in the future that can help decomplicate some of the searches or give tips there. But right now our focus is just on taking this out of going to a 500 page and trying to keep the state in your current search page. Okay, and the next piece that we're working on in 14.1 is to improve some of the sorting features that we have across project and group dropdowns in Global Search. So this is a process to get through lots of particularly complex solutions that we're just now getting started on. But there is a lot of value to really getting this feature kind of ironed out and to understand how we can provide a better selection here. We have gotten lots of feedback from our customers over the years requesting that we provide a better experience in those project and group dropdowns.
And as you can see in that proposal list, we have already completed one of these items in terms of making the layout of these options a bit easier for users to scan through and read. So it's one thing checked off the list.
Yeah, and that's definitely something to check out if you get a chance to. When you go to search on the drop-down page, you'll see that we've organized the way those look in a lot better fashion, where you can see clearly what the group, subgroup projects related to it are. Okay, as we continue to build out search features, one of the things that we continually try to add in are features for sort options. The one that we're going after in 14.1 is for epics. So epics was added several milestones ago into search, and now we're going to be adding some more features out to it specifically for sort options. Most relevant is not going to be currently available for epics. We plan on making that available at a later date. And now I'm going to hand it over to Nick to kind of talk through what we do on the research side, because we spend a lot of effort to really try to understand what is the right experience and how do we want to really craft that for users. And I'm hoping Nick can kind of share a little bit about that process with us as he takes us some of the things that we're working on designing through this 14.1 milestone.
Yeah, absolutely. So, this epic is all around some insights that we had gleaned from some code search research that we had previously done with some of our users. And so, as we try to learn and understand, the problems that our users are facing, a lot of times what we'll do is some generative research just to better understand some of these tasks that users are trying to do and some of the problems that they're facing while doing them. And during this research, we came through with quite a few different insights of how we could make specifically searching for code better and meet their needs and expectations a little bit easier in the future. And so what we're doing now is we're working through and we're actually trying to put together some designs of how we can solve these problems. Some of the first ones being users, really wanted to be able to search across, multiple projects or repositories in global search Today, you can do this by selecting a group, but also sometimes you just want to select just a couple of those projects to search within. And so this will allow them to do that. And as we continue to flesh out designs for this, what we do typically is also just some solution validation, just to ensure that not only do we feel comfortable with the solution that we put together, but it's actually, we're ensuring that it's solving these needs. And we'll do that through some either lightweight evaluative testing, where we'll actually do some unmoderated testing with users, or we might even have some sessions where we actually get together with some of our users in person, or remotely, I should say, and actually have them walk through different scenarios to actually validate some of these designs. So that's one of the first ones that we've been working through. Another issue that we're currently working on is users really want more information related to when a code search result was last modified. And so this takes into effect like not only like when it was modified, but who, what the change was, etc. And so go ahead, John.
Oh, I was going to say, let's I wanted to dive into this one just a little bit, if that's okay, because I think this is an important piece that comes out of kind of demonstrates why the user research is important too. So when you think about code search, right, Nick? So when you think about code search, you think you're just going to be able to search across an example piece of code, right? And it's going to return back any files that have that example piece of code. But this goes deeper into understanding why someone would want to search across an example piece of code, right?
Yep. Yeah. So, a lot of times when people are looking for specific, snippets of code, they're not only wanting to find that, specific code, but they also want to investigate it and understand changes behind that code. And so that's what this really is looking to dive into and provide to users, is getting to that information quicker. And so like we're looking at either, adding some of this information available within the actual result listing, as well as making it easier for a user to get from that result to a few things like the blame, for instance, to see a little bit more detailed information as to the when and the who as it relates to some of those changes to that specific code.
Yeah, and some of the other research that is outside of this that connects to this idea, if you look across a large development organization's IT budget, it's not uncommon to see a scenario where somewhere around 80% of that budget is spent on maintaining existing code or existing product versus building a new product. And when you have that, you start to realize that the majority of code changes or maintaining that code starts with the fact that it's existing somewhere, and trying to understand not just the details about where that code exists, but then maybe with blame as an example, to be able to start to reveal some of the details about when, how, why, who made it, what's the origin of it, can help kind of emphasize the value of that task.
Yep, absolutely. In addition to some of this work around addressing the research insights that came out of the code search research, we're also working on some other aspects to global search. This one being, adding labels as a facet to advanced search. So as we know, like a lot of users today use labels as a filtering method when looking for things such as issues and merge requests. And so it's something that we definitely have been wanting to add to global search for quite a long time, and we're going to be able to do that here pretty soon. We have a variety of additional facets that we're looking to add in the future as well to these different scopes in global search. But labels is going to be one of those first ones that's going to add quite a bit of value to users in helping to narrow down the results and find the things that they're looking for.
Yeah, this is another example of, labels is just one of the ways that you organize information across GitLab. And we think this is probably going to end up being one of the most used, if not the most used facet, especially based on what we've seen as we've done some deeper analysis on how users utilize filtering by labels in, for example, issue search, the issue list search. So this is some great stuff. So really looking forward to the pieces that we're putting together in 14.1. I think that once we have some of these additional design pieces laid out that will then get developed in these upcoming releases, we're really going to start to see a lot of the search functionality and the value that's coming out of the search product we've been working on create some more use cases for our users and actually become more meaningful across the entire GitLab community. And thank you.
Thank you.